Welcome into the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Yeah, that's somber.
I'm not a somber dude. I'm sorry. I can't.
Then why'd you suggest it?
Well, cause it would have been funny to be somber, but I'm not that funny. I can't. I don't know. Whatever. We are on episode 29. It is April 16th. All that good stuff. Yeah. Sorry to announce Lou is no longer with us. Just kidding. He's totally with us. He didn't die. He's just not here. He's at his dad's birthday thingy.
That's important.
Which is pretty important because it's a big banquet and stuff. He told me to say something else. I don't remember what it was. Anyways.
He resigned?
No, he didn't resign. Oh. No. So yeah, it's just me and Brendan here. Awesome. Yeah. So we're going to start off by announcing or whatever. If you haven't already seen on the website, we are looking for new writers. So if you're listening to this and you didn't check out the website, you listen to this off of a subscription on iTunes or something like that. If you want to write for us, we have an application on the website. Go and fill it out and everything. We over the weekend we had applications literally every hour. So we have a lot of applications we're reviewing. We're looking to expand the team by a lot. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and apply. Anything you want to mention, Brendan? Nope. All right, let's move on to the news from nowhere. No, you didn't like.
I didn't like the little snicker at the end. That was just kind of weird.
We kind of touched hands there. That was kind of hot.
You touched my hand. I didn't move mine.
Number one in the news: PlayStation Now details have been leaked. According to an anonymous tip to DualShockers, the PlayStation Now beta received an update, including the following 19 games. All right, here we go. You ready? 1. Shadow of the Colossus. 2. Wipeout HD. 3. Dead Nation. 4. Pixel Junk Monsters. 5. Shatter. 6. Guacamelee. 7. Disgaea 4. A Promise Unforgotten. What number am I at? 7. Dead or Alive 5s. 8. Critter Crunch. 9. Mad Hazard Bloodbath and Beyond. 10. Xenocrash 2. 11. Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. 12. Puzzle Quest Galactrix. 13? Am I on 13?
Yes.
13, Rise of the Guardians, the video game. 14, Dead Island. 15, Payday the Heist. 16, Order Up. 17, Alien Rage. And 19, Real Steel. Woo!
Good job.
That was hard to do. Other than that, there were screenshots that were leaked also that showed all of these games together. So that's all interesting stuff.
Those all seem like pretty good games.
Not really. A lot of those games are like...
What?
Like, I don't know, Shadow of the Colossus, yeah. Wipeout, I've heard, is okay. Dead Nation is good. Pixel Junk Monsters is good. Guacamelee is good.
Earth Defense Force is good. The Heist Payday is good.
Okay, so it's about 50-50, I'd say, on good games and then throwaway games. Because there are games in there that are like Critter Crunch and Mad Hazard and Xenoclash and Puzzle Quest and Order Up and Alien Rage and Real Steel. Like, all those games, like, what the fuck? Like, why would we want to play these? Why would we rent these? But, I mean, I know why they're putting them on there. They need to test stuff. But, yeah, so that's interesting. Other than that, Sony revealed a new TV, a 4K TV or TV series that all are able to play PlayStation Now on them. You just have to have a DualShock 3 to be able to do that.
4K looks so weird.
Yeah, it does. But so that's interesting. And I guess the TVs are set to be released before PlayStation Now is expected to be released. So that means that PlayStation Now may be like 2 months away. We'll see. Anyways, number 2 in the news, Brendan.
So apparently at PAX East, plug. Titanfall DLC was announced by Respawn Entertainment. It's going to come in May. It says Titanfall Expedition will consist of 3 new multiplayer maps that take place after the initial campaign. First map, Swampland. It'll take place, in a swamp.
Woo! Swampy!
Runoff will take place...
Swamp nuts. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you hate swamp nuts? I hate swamp nuts. It's a daily thing.
We're not talking about this, though.
Why not? Move on.
Runoff is the second, and it will take place in, pipe runoff in water.
Pipes and water. That's exciting.
Yeah, you know your average everyday pollution.
Yeah.
Then War Games was the last map, and it'll take place in a military training area. Wonder where they came up with those names. But
the really, really obvious names.
It'll cost about $10 according to Vince Zampella.
That's interesting news. I mean, any game multiplayer, you need to have map packs all the time, or else it gets boring. And Titanfall is only multiplayer, so you would expect them to throw something out like this pretty soon after release. So it's not surprising that it's only coming like 2 months after release. The only one out of that seems the least bit interesting to me is the swamp one. Like, I can't imagine big mech robots and
playing in pipes.
And well, no, I'm saying in the swamp, and then a bunch of like agile shooter guys, whatever they're called, army infantry guys or whatever, running around jumping on trees and stuff. It just seems weird to imagine it to me. Now, maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, and I'm not thinking of like huge trees, and I'm thinking of little trees or something. I don't know.
No, I think War Games sounds like a lot of fun because there might be like crap tons of weapons stockpiled. Like, here's an explosive thing, let's blow it up.
See, War Games sounds too much like just any other Call of Duty map to me. It's like, oh, we're going to drop you into a military training
mechs.
shooter. Well, that's true. That is true. You have ginormous mechs.
I'm surprised Call of Duty hasn't tried that.
Well, it is people that came from Call of Duty. You know, Respawn was basically...
That's why they were fired.
Well, maybe. Oh, so yeah, that's interesting. I don't really know. Whatever. Number 3, Brendan.
Rockstar has released its Capture Creator add-on for Grand Theft Auto 5. It'll allow the GTA players to create their very own capture mode games to play and share with the online community. The update is available on both PSN and Xbox Live for free.
Ooh, exciting.
Is that kind of like theater mode?
No, I've heard that this is like it's a capture the flag type game, and you just get to adjust how it works. Like the flag can be a car, or it could be a gun, or it could be a briefcase.
Completely different type of capture. Whoops.
No, yeah, you're thinking of like recording stuff or whatever. I think this is more like capture the flag creator. At least that's how I understood it. So,
no, they have something slightly like that, but like you have to pick up illicit substances. I'm not going to say which.
Drugs.
Yeah, blocks of it. From the ground, then run away with those. But it would be really fun to have to take away a car, because those are really freaking hard to chase down. Once you get it through the highways. I
could just imagine how crazy this could be, depending on how you set it up. Like, you have to use bazookas or something, and you have to steal a Mustang or a really nice car or whatever that's the flag on each side, and somehow get it by the bazookas. Or I don't even know. What
I'm going to predict is somebody's going to get there's going to be a high speed car like an Inferno, and somebody's going to try to take it away from somebody driving it using a cargo bob.
Oh my god, I don't know. I think more games need to have stuff like this, a creation mode of some sort, just to add a little something to it.
If only they had the heist they promised.
Do they not?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, multiplayer.
Moving on. Number 4. Soul Sacrifice Delta will be coming to the United States and Europe on May 13th, according to the PlayStation blog. The producer writes, Soul Sacrifice Delta is the ultimate edition of Soul Sacrifice, promising tons of new content and improvements. All the save data from Soul Sacrifice will carry over to Soul Sacrifice Delta, allowing players to continue their adventures from where they left off. I played the first Soul Sacrifice, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I'm not a Monster Hunter type fan. It's just... just a bare minimum story where it sends you out there. That's get these, monsters or whatever, train them up and fight other monsters.
It's like Pokemon?
No, it's not like Pokemon. It's not at all like Pokemon. It's literally just go fight bigger monsters and find ways to beat them and stuff like that. Or tons of, it's so annoying. There is definitely a fan base for it. People love these games. Go rabidly crazy over them. And that's totally fine. I understand it. It's I go crazy for Tales and stuff like that. But
you gross,
this game, no, not that. But this game is just, man, it's not for me. Not for me at all.
Well, good for you, Soul Sacrifice. Objectively.
Number 5, Brendan.
Drinkbox Studios, minds behind Guacamelee, announced Severed, their new game. According to Destructoid, The game centers around a female protagonist who's lost part of her arm. Sounds like Samus. Wow. So she goes on a quest to uncover a mystery, a part of which involves her missing flesh.
Woo! Like booby? Or her arm? Oh.
No, her arm.
Her arm.
The thing that got taken.
I totally forgot about that already.
Along the way, she'll battle monsters and attach their parts to her missing arm to battle... Ew.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and then she'll use those arms to beat bigger monsters and take their arms, of course. Severed is scheduled to come out in the spring of 2015. They also said that they might be trying ideas with PlayStation Move, Kinect, and Project Morpheus for their 8-hour experience.
Interesting.
I now know why it's called Severed.
Yeah,
because her arm got severed.
Totally makes sense.
Ew.
Can you imagine using like Project Morpheus, the virtual reality where your arm gets severed? You're like, no,
and it gets severed in real life. It's that real.
Yeah, replacing it with a giant monster arm.
You walk into school the next day with like this huge Hulk.
Fuck you guys.
It's like, sorry, this was the boss.
Oh,
I won.
I win. I didn't play Guacamelee, so I'm not really a big fan of Drinkbox. I don't really know a lot about them. So, I did see some of the art for Severed or whatever, and it looks a lot like Guacamelee's art. So, I know a lot of people like it. So hopefully they'll like this too. Number 6 on the news: Tales of Hearts R may be coming to the West on the PlayStation Vita. Tales of Hearts for the PlayStation Vita showed up on GameStop's website over the weekend. The strange part about it, however, was that it was listed as a GameStop exclusive and has since been taken off the website. And according to NeoGAF, Tales of Hearts is also listed in GameStop's upcoming release database. It was originally a DS game, I believe, back in like 2008, and then it was re-released in 2011 on Vita as Tales of Hearts R. However, it has not been localized, obviously. I don't know. Obviously, it's coming if it was on their website and everything. That makes sense. Somebody just hit the go button a little early when Bandai Namco hasn't announced it yet. So they just were like, oh shit, we got to pull it off the website. My bad. Didn't mean to throw that up there yet. But I'm really confused at the whole GameStop exclusive part.
Maybe that was the part where they had to take it down because they said GameStop exclusive, and they're like, "Oh, no."
Well, maybe, but Bandai hasn't, or Bandai Namco hasn't announced it yet either. So why, a website can't have it up there unless it's been officially announced because of like NDAs and all that stuff. But I don't know. Like my theories are either that it was a download only code. And so GameStop's paying for it or something, or I don't know. Somehow GameStop's only going to have the code, or it's going to be by GameStop exclusive. They meant that it's going to be coming with exclusive DLC or something, only at GameStop. Maybe the game will be available everywhere, but at GameStop you get a special code for an extra DLC or maybe an added mission or something. I don't even know, but that's all I can come up with. But I'm excited. I'm a big Tales fan.
Buy it?
Oh hell yeah! That was one of the things that was going to sell me on getting a Vita originally, was a good JRPG, and specifically a Tales JRPG for the Vita. And then Ys Memories of Celceta came out, or was announced, and I immediately bought my Vita because I was like, there's a good JRPG. Finally I can get it. And then now Tales is going to be announced, hopefully. So I'm going to be pre-ordering that shit. Number 7 on the news. The Last of Us Remastered may have a release date. According to Gamefly, Best Buy, and Target, it will be released on June 20th. However, most other retailers have it listed as December 31st, which is clearly a placeholder date. June 20th may be a placeholder date as well, but we find it very unlikely that 3 different retailers, major retailers in fact, all have the same exact date in the middle of June. So it's likely that it's coming out then, which is funny because that's almost a year to the day that it came out on PlayStation 3, which is also funny because it came out the week after E3 last year, and this will be the week after E3 this year. So
poetic.
Coincidence? I think not.
What if it actually is?
Yeah, that would be great. Naughty Dog's like, oh, shit. Really?
We didn't even think of that.
You guys are really smart. No, that's... I don't know. I'm excited. That just means it's coming sooner than I expected, because I expected probably... Well, I mean, I made a guess that it would be coming out a year to the day, but I said sometime in June. But it is kind of funny that it's announced as June 20th on there, because that's the day before summer. And they've been advertising summer 2014 for Remastered. And I'm like, technically, that's still spring, bitch. You are wrong.
Summer break, I mean.
Yeah, summer break. Probably. Whatever. So that's cool. We'll see if that ends up being true or not. Okay, rolling on. Number 8. New Tales from the Borderlands details have been revealed. In an issue of Xbox Official Magazine, as reported by IGN, the game will focus on 2 main characters, which were taken from a pool of 5 total characters. Players will see the perspectives of Fiona, a con artist, and Reese?
I'd say
Reese,
it's like the son of Rome. So pronounce it however you say that. Yes.
Whatever. Fuck it. A Hyperion worker. Perspectives shift at points dictated by the story, sometimes seeing the same events from different eyes. The premise of the game revolves around those 2 characters explaining events to a stranger from a freshly landed spaceship. I don't really care what the story is, as long as it's more Borderlands. That's all that matters to me. So this is all irrelevant. I'm just excited to play it. So
you say that story is irrelevant?
No, in Borderlands it is. In Borderlands, all you need is it to be funny and fun. That's literally all Borderlands is. The story was totally throwaway to me. I remember trying to find the vault. That's all I remember. Everything else was just claptrap jokes, and other stuff. So other funny stuff. I mean. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Head guy at Gearbox today, I believe, announced also that. The prequel or pre-sequel will not be as big as Borderlands 2, so it may not be listed at full price. It may be something like $40 instead of $60. So that's pretty good news, because I was going to get it anyways, but if it's going to be cheaper, even more, even more motivation to get it. So that's cool. Good stuff. Number 9. Sony is selling all 9.5 million shares it owns of Square Enix. These 9.5 million shares, which Sony has held for over 10 years, will be sold to SMBC Nikko Securities. That's a global firm. The shares will cost approximately 4.8 billion yen, or $47.1 million, according to the Wall Street Journal. The exact price will be published tomorrow, or today if you're listening to it on Thursday. That's really interesting news, but not surprising. A lot of whenever they did buy the shares or whatever, a lot of the Square Enix's games were Sony exclusive after that, PlayStation exclusive. But in 2008, when Final Fantasy 13 was released, they started releasing all their other games multi-platform. And so if they're not getting exclusivity to all their games anymore, why be a majority shareholder? Or not majority, I guess they were like, I don't know, the 3rd largest shareholder on the Square Enix or whatever. But I think it was something like 9%. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember reading that somewhere.
Amount.
Yeah, that's a huge percent of a company like that. But yeah, so and what the hell, SMBC Nikko Securities? Like, I looked them up today and everything for the story, and it's a weird company. Like, why are they buying shares in a game company?
What is it?
Like a security, electronics, and all this. I don't know. It was so strange. I don't get it. I don't understand why they bought it. Maybe they bought it because it's at such a discounted rate. Because I think that if I read it right, that this was actually worth 15 or 20 billion yen or something like that, and they sold it for 4.8. It was a huge discount, from the market share price or whatever. So I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they're trying to get into games. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe we're wrong.
They could have sold it to some other gaming related company like Pocky.
Yeah, or not.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and skip this one and save it for last. So you wanna head up this one or this one?
I will take number 11, which is now 10.
Okay.
Number 11. Sony Online Entertainment revealed their upcoming MMO titled H1Z1.
I see what they're doing there. It's a play on letters.
Bird flu and swine flu
with zombies.
Yes. Way to spoil it. It'll be focused on community building and zombies.
Like zombies. There
yes,
we go.
like zombies. The game will have multiple servers to house thousands of players, complete with an in-game economy, structures, a day-night cycle, and more. Oh crap! Day-night cycles suck in zombie games.
Yeah, they do.
The president of Sony Online Entertainment, John Smedley. I like his name.
I know a Smedley. I know a lot of Smedleys.
This one being foremost in your mind.
I don't really know him though.
Said, over time, we will grow the world until we have our own version of the U.S. after the death and destruction brought during the H1Z1 epidemic.
Ooh.
It'll be our own version of America. We'll have urban cities and desolate, wide-open places, all connected seamlessly.
America.
Smedley
Zombies. Smedley.
Jeez. Smedley also said, our focus is building a sandbox style of gameplay where players can build shelters out of resources in the world. They can even work together to make amazing fortresses complete with weaponry to defend against both the infected and other players.
Well, I would fucking hope so.
Well, I mean, that totally works so well with, like, DayZ.
DayZ's doing great.
I mean, but with, like, massive amounts of people working together.
Oh, yeah, people don't work together very well. People don't trust people, which makes sense.
Like, you'll see maybe a random act of kindness, but that's it.
Yeah. But I could see somebody like Sony doing a better job at DayZ than somebody like DayZ doing DayZ. Because DayZ was like, what was it?
It originally
was
started,
a mod, wasn't it?
It was a mod for Arma 2, and then people started buying Arma 2 just for DayZ, so we decided to go and make his own. And it's still an alpha, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody like an independent developer rather than Sony doing it. Sony could make it huge. But then again, that could also go the other way. It could end up being really shitty because they don't know what they're doing or something. I have no idea. Because this sounds like a PC game, and it's going to be a PS4 game.
All I know is that people are assholes, and they will kill you.
Yep. Totally. Speaking of Sony, number 12, Sony has announced just now that they have sold over 7 million PlayStation 4 units as of April 6, 2014. This number represents units sold to customers, not just to retailers. They also revealed that they've sold over 20.5 million games, both digital and retail, as of April 13th, 2014. So, holy shit, that's a lot.
Not that much, really.
Not that much, really. I think the rumor was today that there have been 8 million Vitas sold. So that's already almost caught up to the Vita in 5 months or whatever. Can't count. It's almost 6 months now, something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
That's really good. Good for Sony.
Yeah, good for Sony. They're doing great. Okay, so our last news Brendan's going to cover. It's going to lead us into our topic of the week. You ready, Brendan?
It is.
Go ahead.
The legendary Bungie composer that worked on Halo franchise has been fired.
What?
By Bungie.
What?
O'Donnell joined Bungie before it was acquired by Microsoft. Recently, he tweeted, I'm saddened to say that Bungie's board of directors has terminated me without cause on April 11th, 2014.
What?
Bungie then posted on their official website a post titled, There are those who said this day would never come. That only says the following. For more than a decade, Marty O'Donnell filled our worlds with unforgettable sounds and soundtracks and left an indelible mark on our fans. Today, as friends, we say goodbye. We know that wherever his journey takes him, he will always have a bright and hopeful future. We wish him luck in all his future endeavors.
So, yeah. That
That's
really, really fucking sucks.
Did he at least come with a soundtrack for Destiny?
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
yep,
good.
He actually, he known for his soundtracks on Halo and his upcoming soundtrack for Destiny is what the original story said that I saw. So
When I think about the Halo 3 soundtrack and even the rest of the Halo games, they're so iconic.
I know, I don't know. Every time I think back to growing up, the only soundtrack I really remember, or two soundtracks I really remember growing up, which would be before I graduated high school is what I count this as, would be Kingdom Hearts and Halo. All the Halo games. Every time one came out, I freaking loved it. I would let it just sit on the start screen for hours, do homework listening to the start screen music. I was so weird.
Explain that to my parents. Yeah, I'm doing homework. I'm just listening.
Yeah, just listening to this awesome song.
But even before I got an Xbox, I knew what the Halo theme song was, just because it was played everywhere.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, why? Why would they let him go? I don't get it at all. I don't get it whatsoever. he seems to be too important to the series. I mean, well, obviously they're not doing Halo anymore, right? You know, they're working on Destiny now. Maybe the Destiny theme's too much like Halo. Maybe that's why. You know, like maybe they're like, well, you did all your good stuff with Halo, and now it just sounds like more Halo, and we're not Halo anymore. Or maybe
you can't
just
ask him to change his style because
yeah, I know, which is why they got rid of him, obviously, or something. You know, like I can't think of a good enough reason why they would get rid of him.
But I'd be very interested to see where he goes next.
Oh yeah, whatever he does, he's going to be good at it. Because he's a great composer, as you can tell by listening to any of the soundtracks for Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, or Reach. Yeah, because he didn't work on 4, did he? Because he's Bungie's composer. I don't think he was able. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
we have to look at the credits for that.
Yeah. But whatever. Regardless, that's sucky news. And it sounds like he tweeted that. Yeah, he tweeted that he was let go without cause. So he doesn't know why he was let go, which is really interesting. But that goes into our theme, or our topic of the week, not our theme. We're going to talk about theme songs growing up. Or not growing up, just our favorite gaming theme songs and stuff like that. And like the one that immediately came to my mind was Uncharted. Like every time I listen to it, I get goosebumps. And like I don't even know. Like
it is a really great theme song.
Yeah, it is. And until you mentioned it earlier, I didn't know that they used the same theme song for each of the games and just changed it a little bit. That they just like updated it. Like I didn't occur to me. I just thought it was the same theme song every time. And you said that, and so we listened to them before we started recording, and I was like, holy shit, I remember all of these. They are different, but they're all good.
Yeah, there's slight changes, but it's always like revamped, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know, like like other games, maybe Skyrim. Skyrim had an excellent theme. But, like, I don't know. I just remember, like, the chanting parts of the theme for Skyrim. Do you have any other games or?
Yeah, actually, probably it might just be like nostalgic, but one of the best like themes or like soundtracks would be Ocarina of Time.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
I looked up like all like the songs like Kakariko Village, the title theme, and Song of Storms. Those are like some of my favorite like small songs like ever.
Now I'm a huge JRPG fan, obviously, so I know I have a lot of JRPG soundtracks that I love. Like any of the Final Fantasy soundtracks, I love. Any of the Tales soundtracks, I have them downloaded in all my iTunes and everything. Kingdom Hearts has an awesome soundtrack. The theme song for The Last of Us, that's a good one. Let's see. I don't know, theme songs like. Or not even just theme songs, but like the score over, like in general, make a game, in my opinion. Like they can make or break a game, make it 10 times better and more memorable, and like you have the feels, give you the feels.
It'll really like upplay emotion. Like once you're going into like a more intense battle scene, they'll like start playing more frantically, and it really helps.
Yeah,
like it very much adds to the experience.
Well, it's you know, and there are some games that utilize it way better than others, because like I referred to The Last of Us, like it had some awesome songs in there that would like, you know, make you feel tense in the right scenes, and like when something happy would happen, it would play a different song or whatever. Oh my god!
I've always thought that might be a really crappy job at some points, because like if there's a character that dies, you have to play sad music. The composer has to be like, what will make people cry more over this? How can I make people cry?
Oh man. That would kind of suck. I've never really thought about that. Let's see. Do you have any others that you could?
Well, other than the Halo series,
I can't think of does Assassin's Creed have a theme?
No, not.
It doesn't.
Really.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think because a lot of it's about like being in the Animus and that just being blank.
Yeah.
Or the title, at least.
White Knight Chronicles has an awesome one. Oh. The theme, I guess the theme and the soundtrack for Infamous Second Son. Holy shit. That is a really good one. You need to listen to it.
I will.
We'll play it after the podcast or whatever. But, yeah, I listened to the soundtrack for Infamous Second Son before I played the game, like several times before I played the game. And so like when I finally got to the game, I recognized all the songs, and I was like, oh my god, that makes these scenes so much better.
You know what game had a really great soundtrack?
What?
Wii Music.
Wii Music. Oh, really? You know what? Another one? Rock Band.
Oh my gosh!
Uh-huh.
How'd they come up with that?
Guitar Hero? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's basically all I have on it. Good themes. Good themes. You ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to our listener questions. This week, everyone was dicks. Nobody submitted any other than Dennis. Which
we love you, Dennis.
So thank you, Dennis. You were awesome. Big D. That's how we call you around the office. Big D. We don't have an office, so we don't really call you Big D.
We have Courtney's bedroom.
We have my bedroom. Thanks. Okay,
Sorry to break the fourth wall here, but let's be honest.
First question from Dennis. What character in a game has meant most to you personally? Ooh. That's a really, really, really big one. Should have read these before the podcast.
Oh, wow, that's a really hard question. Jeez.
Yeah. Let me name a few. Let's go with Oliver from Ni no Kuni. Ezio from Assassin's Creed. Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Like all of those characters.
Cooking Mama.
Yeah.
I'll never stop talking about Cooking Mama.
All those characters, and Drake from Uncharted, all those characters like give me the feels, you know, like when you play it, it's just like a touching moment happens. Those are the characters that'll make me like get goosebumps or tear up, or like those, like when something happens to them, those are the characters that can make me, you know, feel something. But yeah, so those would be the ones for me. I don't know if I could pick a number one. Maybe Ellie, Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us, since it is my favorite game. But I don't know.
For a lot of it, I'd say Master Chief.
Yeah, that's
not just because like you play through it and it's like something like that, but I've read the books and like a lot of like if you read it with like knowing history, knowing exactly who he is, like in all those situations, it's really
well. And then the ride we had to go through with Halo 3, the Master Chief dying or whatever,
and then actually trying to get Cortana back.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. That was hard. Like that was a big one.
Oh, the character.
Spoiler alert, by the way, on the Master Chief thing.
Oh,
years and years ago.
It was like 7 years ago.
I know, but still, there's gonna be somebody who's like, "God damn it! I was about to play Halo." It's like, oops.
Yeah, you fight the Covenant. Wow, spoiler. But then probably the dog from Fable 2.
Oh yeah.
When it died, I cried. No, I didn't.
You cried.
Because I knew it could take it back, but it was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, I'm pretty sure I yelled at it.
Now I'm a huge Naruto fan, so Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Does that count as a character since it originated?
That's what I was gonna say. Is because it's originally from an anime, so like, but at the same time, every time I play one of those games, it literally makes me tear up during all the really dramatic scenes because I've watched the series from the very beginning, so I've seen like 400 or 500 episodes, and when you know all the history and everything that goes into all the characters and everything, it's really touching to see some of those moments. But yeah,
I'm trying to think of one because I'm sure there's like in the long list of video games, there's got to be some.
Anyways, second question from Dennis. Yeah. Is there a story that was so good that you didn't bother with extra modes or multiplayer? For example, because you thought it would somehow take out of the immersion. Ooh, yeah, Tomb Raider on PS3 last year. I loved the story mode so much, and I did not want to tarnish my memory of Tomb Raider by playing the shitty multiplayer.
Same here with Assassin's Creed. I hate their multiplayer. I love the story.
Yeah. I took a chance on their multiplayer because I wanted to get the Platinum Trophy. So I did on Revelations and 3, I believe. Maybe not. I don't remember. But also, The Last of Us. I know the multiplayer was good, but The Last of Us was so important to me with its story that I didn't want to ruin it by playing multiplayer mode, which I'm going to now when I get it on PS4, but that was what my feeling was originally when I played it.
Actually, I kind of had the same thing with Uncharted 3.
Okay, yeah. I didn't play any of the Uncharted multiplayer, so I did the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I saw the multiplayer thing and I'd finished it, but I was like, I don't really need to.
I'm the same way with some DLC, too. Sometimes I don't want to play a DLC because I don't want it to ruin the story that I played. Because, let's see, I didn't want to play Dishonored's DLC. I didn't want to play... some of the Assassin's Creed DLC I didn't play. I don't know. There's several games I know that I just like. I loved the story in the game so much I didn't want to change it any.
I don't buy DLC. So.
Well, you're broke, so I'm broke now though. Do you think the European market has less importance compared to the U.S.? Like U.S. getting earlier games, access features, and more attention than Europe generally does. Well, I
think the U.S. is a bigger.
The U.S. is a bigger. Yeah, the U.S. is a bigger market.
So fiscally, I think they are more important.
Fiscally, absolutely. But as a population base and fan base and user base and stuff like that, no, I don't think they're any more really important. The release date thing is more or less because there are more people here that want the games. It'll be able to sell better here or something, and many of the markets or many of the companies that are selling their games are from the U.S. and stuff like that. And so they want to release here first before they release anywhere else. Or if they're Japanese, they think their games will sell better here, so they want to sell them here first. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's really more important or anything like that. But it's just more or less a reality of the video game market. You know, it's just that's how they do it. It's how they have been doing it. But because it goes the other way too. Europe gets some games that we don't get. So it's it just depends on what the game is, what the company is, and what they want to do. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Microsoft won't be releasing anything in Europe first anytime soon.
They definitely won't be releasing anything first in Japan.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Europe. Because, see, you even look at something like the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 was released in America and Europe months before it was ever released in Japan. So if that says anything, it's like they're releasing to the bigger markets.
It's a purely financial decision.
Yeah.
So, I think.
Dennis's fourth question. Do you think it's important to keep doing DLC long after the game is out, like Borderlands and The Last of Us, for example? Will people hold on to their games longer and not sell them and replay the game, or is it just marketing wanting most amount of money? Partially is because they want money. Partially it's because they don't want to sell the game. Many times they release DLC long after release because they don't want people to sell their game to GameStop and then other people to go buy their game used, because then they don't get the money from the original purchase. And so that's what they want, is they want people to hold on to their games as long as possible so that other people will have to buy new games. That's the whole point of it. Now Borderlands, they released a lot of single-player content. The Last of Us is not a good example because they're releasing multiplayer content. And I don't think The Last of Us is thought of as a multiplayer game. Well, actually, I know it's not. So I don't think that's really appealing. They did release the single-player DLC almost like 8 months after it was released on the console or whatever. But that was because it took that long to develop it. It's not like they planned, okay, in 8 months, we're going to release this DLC so that people will keep their copy of The Last of Us. That was not a part of the plan. It was literally they worked their asses off and tried to get it ready as soon as they could, and the soonest they could was February. So
I don't know. As a consumer of one DLC, I think it's again like they're trying to make a lot of money. So I think it's for a lot of games that kind of maybe lacked initially. It's good to supply a lot of DLC. Like for some, like Borderlands, really. But for Borderlands, like they had a pretty good game and they still released a crap ton of DLC. Like even ones as recent as like maybe a month or two ago.
No, this week I think. Yeah.
When did Mad Moxie's?
This month, this week actually. So.
Oh, that was this week.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Anyways.
Yeah, that is recent. Jeez.
So you want to roll into the game releases this week?
Why, yes, I do.
So, video game releases this week. On PlayStation 3, there is 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil. And then the aforementioned Borderlands 2 Headhunter 5 Sire Hammerlock versus the Sun Cromarax. Is that Sir? It's supposed to be Sir Hammerlock, I think, not Sire. Sir Hammerlock. I don't know why there's an E. I copied and pasted that from Metacritic, so they clearly had it wrong. Fuckers. On PlayStation 4, Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. I highly advise everybody to jump into that fucking awesome game. Trials Fusion and Pure Chess. And then on PlayStation Vita...
Is Pure Chess a chess game?
I think so.
Yes.
No, it's Pure Chest. So it's just boobs. You just look at them.
Well, you know, I can't complain about that either.
You use the dual shocks, use the sticks, the dual sticks to just like twirl them and just rub the nipples. It's a rubbing nipple game.
Moving on.
On PlayStation Vita, Dead Nations comes out along with Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars, which I've heard is a great game, and I've seen footage of it, and it looks awesome, and I am sold. I'm going to be buying that game for my Vita. It's a JRPG about making babies. I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
It's like a Sims date.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
For the Xbox 360, Max, The Curse of Brotherhood. 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil. You know, exciting stuff, soccer and all that. Borderlands 2, Headhunter 5, Sir Hammerlock versus the Sun Cromarax, and then Trials Fusion, which I've actually heard is pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Yep, Trials, yay. And for the Xbox One, just Trials Fusion.
Woo!
That's it.
What about that other Microsoft platform?
PC, you say?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Personal cock. That's what it stands for, right?
Yes,
that's wrong?
sure.
It's not. Okay.
Let's say it stands for that.
It's personal cock. All right, what's coming out?
War of the Vikings, Borderlands 2, Headhunter 5, Mobius Empire Rising,
Woo!
Lost Civilization, Ethereum, Max, The Curse of Brotherhood, Mechanic Escape, Trials Fusion, and Agarest.
Agarest War.
Generations of War 0.
All right. And then Lou, who would normally handle our Nintendo stuff, is not here, so I will go ahead and take the Wii U.
Nintendo sucks.
Nothing this week on
Right.
Wii U. Nintendo does not suck. Nintendo's just
I'm trying
slow.
to piss off Lou.
They're just you just have to speak to piss him off. He's just like that Brendan kid. Gonna kick his ass. He doesn't ever say that. On 3DS, Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars, Atlantic Quest, Nintendo Pocket Football Club, and Smash Cat Heroes, the game everybody's been waiting for.
There's no part of that title that I did not like.
Smash Cat Heroes?
Yes.
Yeah, or Nintendo Pocket Football Club. I like both of those. Like, what the hell?
Will it be like cat lateral damage?
Yeah. So out of this week, I'm saying go ahead and get Conception 2, Final Fantasy XIV, the Borderlands DLC, Max, The Curse of Brotherhood, and Trials Fusion. Those sound like the best games coming out.
And Pure Chess.
And the nipple rubbing game.
Oh.
They're like, maybe that would actually get us to sell more copies of this if we advertise it as a nipple rubbing game.
No one wants to do that. People want to like play the dragon opening, respond with the Archangel, all that exciting stuff.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Yes.
Anyways, so that wraps up episode 29 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. Thank you all for listening. We record on Wednesdays and release on Thursdays. We always ask for you to submit questions or comments or anything like that to mong.podcast@gmail.com, where you can reach us. Or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Middle of Nowhere Gaming Mong on Facebook and at MONG Podcast on Twitter. Be sure and check out middleofnowheregaming.com for all of our latest stories. We've had a lot of stories lately, and since we are expanding with our writers, trying to find new writers, we're going to have even more coming soon. So, be sure and check it out every day, every hour, in fact. Yeah, you should check it out every hour. Keep clicking on it. Just keep clicking on it. Make us think that more people are watching. No, just kidding. Whatever. Anyway, so you can find me on Twitter at Osborne_2009. You can find Brendan at
Brendan Jester.
Woo! And that's it for episode 29. Thank you all for listening.
I love you.
Penis.